Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou ki taua kou. Patrick Dougherty, toka ingoa no, tamaki makaurau aho. Well, that's a fantastic introduction, thank you, and I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. My first 2 or 3 slides have been explained for me already, so that's fantastic, so I'll probably rip through those, but just to recap, I am the General Manager of the Kāinga Construction and Innovation Group. Kāinga was established in October 2019, which now seems quite a world away. And that was the merging of Housing New Zealand, Kiwi Build, Hobsonville and Hobsonville Land Company. Our team within the Kāinga is responsible for the construction, remediation and retrofit of all the state housing and transitional housing owned by the government. And the title of my talk today reflects our aspiration, not suggesting we've landed there, but we are well on the way to building well at pace and scale. So we can go to the next slide. Our scale is significant in terms of growing the largest residential land holding in New Zealand. We've got over 65,000 homes with the commensurate number of about 200,000 people living in those homes at the moment. But with between 3,000 to 4,000 houses currently under construction right now all around the country, and it really is growing in various parts of the regions, not just in the main centres, with over 11,000 units in the pipeline at various stages of the development cycle. But the need is great, as we all know, with over 21,000 people on the MSD waiting list as of September last year. And part of the way we're delivering what we're doing, not just in the public housing, but increasing the supply of housing, with some of our large-scale suburban-sized projects, with about 6 of those underway in areas such as Mount Roskill, Northcote, Mangere and Pararua. And that photo is a picture of what's happening in Mount Roskill right now. So we're ramping up, if we can go to the next slide, to deliver even more public houses following the government's 2020 budget announcement to dramatically increase the number of public and transitional homes. There's an increasing need for government housing assistance due to a shortage of affordable rental properties, increasing rents, a population increase, inadequate housing and economic impact of COVID-19, which of course you're right in the middle of it. We need to build more public houses and make sure people move into them and off the housing register as quickly as possible. And we're concentrating our efforts, as I said, in the region where there is a high need. So we're delivering 8,000 new public and transitional homes over the 4 years as a minimum target. And as we increase the supply, we'll be getting more funding to be able to increase that number. So the next slide shows a pretty simple graph, really just it's more of a sense of direction that the scale is growing significantly. We need to do this, however, in a new way. The scale of delivery isn't just our challenge, it's the way we can unlock greater value for money, for the social outcomes and environmental outcomes. It gives us the opportunity to do things differently. It gives us an opportunity to work with the industry to transform things. So on the next slide, you'll see reference to Building Momentum, which is our recently released overarching strategy for the construction of new state homes. We consulted extensively with the industry when developing the strategy last year, and I'd encourage you to read a copy of that available on the Kāinga website. Basically look for the Building Momentum, our construction plan for future homes. And I'm happy for you to obviously get access to this slide after this presentation, and in that you should hopefully find that reference so that you can actually track through for that. That Building Momentum document has clarified our current 5 priorities, which on the next slide I've spelled out a little bit further. Partnering is about us unlocking the benefits of real partnerships, and that's a key thing for us to learn what that really means. Using that scale to make longer-term commitments beyond the project-to-project scale. We're very aware of the fact that nothing we deliver is done by us. We are a client of construction and we rely on build partners to choose to work with us. We have a focus on innovation where we're elevating the importance of investing to improve the way we deliver and what we build. We're looking to industrialise what we can in the design process to allow capacity to be creative in designing fit-for-purpose solutions and repeatable construction methods. A key part of us getting at is to be more transparent and use our scale to give our partners confidence to invest and together cut out the frustrating process that causes all pain, delays and costs in delivery. And I'll talk about being more transparent. It's about us releasing our pipeline of what our work is coming up so people can actually make plans to work with us in a true partnering way. And then, of course, we're zeroing in on our commitment towards carbon neutrality, from demolition through to the entire construction and life cycle of our buildings, ensure we leave a sustainable legacy. And the word legacy is a key word for us in the way we think about the work that we're doing in our program. On the next slide, you'll see a little graph that sort of talks about our system. We need a house construction industry that builds net zero life cycle as a standard way of doing things. We design and build to minimise waste. We need the industry to be as diverse as New Zealand is diverse. And we needed to understand how to innovate. We aspire to have the safest construction industry in the world that is respected by the community. And we use that intentionally when they to be respected by the community, because we understand that relationship needs to be a strength in the way we do things, and it hasn't historically always been the way we've operated. The work that we're doing needs to be more than something that we do to a community, but needs to be something that we do with a community, and that's the full expanse of what that word community actually means. Our construction industry needs to be focused on having minimal defects and to deliver value at a reasonable cost. So, what does well mean? A low carbon home on the next slide. Warm, dry, healthy, and comfortable. In the sustainability focus area of our building momentum strategy, a strong focus on reducing building life cycle carbon emissions. New Zealand research shows that the new building code minimum residential buildings emit approximately 5 times too much carbon compared to the 1.5 carbon budget. Critically, delivering low carbon state housing, prioritising solutions to improve the experience of our customers is about improving their thermal comfort, health, well-being, and to reduce the fuel poverty and energy hardship that a lot of them suffer. It's obviously about the full life cycle, from the deconstruction or the demolition to the life of the occupancy of the home. But something we have to always remember is it's really about remembering our purpose to provide an appropriate house and home for the people who live in and around our homes. On the next slide, we talk about what is well. Well is low carbon, and I'm going to let others on the day define and discuss that against the various carbon budgets and scenarios, but it's low carbon, warm, dry, healthy and comfortable state housing. Those are very intentional words, not just trite words. Most importantly, about maximising the experience of our customers in their homes and communities. Our Home Star 6 policy is the start of our journey for Kāinga, and we're supporting the NB Building for Climate Change program through our build program. Well also is a building quality issue with 2 main parts. Ensuring on-site construction matches what was designed and achieves the built quality expected. We set a high standard and we invest significantly to ensure it occurs with QA processes much more than just relying on building inspections from local authorities. And also equally important in the carbon sustainability field, ensuring what is designed leads to the benefits for our customers and environment that are calculated and reported. We're here to support the industry through building monitoring and evaluation of new technologies and high performance, low carbon, sustainable homes to ensure they are delivering the expected outcomes and benefits. That is an opportunity that our scale offers us. The next slide is probably a little hard for you to read, and one of those ones you probably want to have a look at a little bit later and study. But simply our vision is to support our industry partners to deliver these outcomes for our customers. Kāinga has established a sustainability program with 6 pillars and focus areas with various activities that we're looking to undertake across all types of activities, from our urban development projects to the construction of housing. Activities such as reducing construction and demolition waste, and we're using the word deconstruction instead of demolition as a sign, I guess, of that change. With the urban ngahere, or forest restoration, addressing water quality and planning for adaptation measures. Reducing carbon associated with our development and construction program is a key focus of the sustainability program. The sustainability and carbon neutral housing pillar is a central part of our building momentum plan. On the next slide, you'll see some images of some of our apprentices that we've got working with. And our increasing scale comes with an obligation to bring industry transformation. And it's about ensuring that the over $1 billion a year we spend in this program gets more than just great new houses, but leaves a legacy to affect more than just our program. Through building momentum and the sustainability focus area, the industry transformation that we want to help facilitate are about helping us, first of all, to be an informed client, helping to educate the industry and have a culture change, consider the life cycle costs and broader benefits, and develop and construct low carbon pilot projects where we're monitoring, measuring and reporting energy, carbon, occupant health and wellbeing for making evidence-based decisions to drive continuous improvement. And of course, there's a whole bunch of other additional benefits we get beyond the particular focus on sustainability, such as what you see in that photo, the growing apprenticeship and graduate scheme. We are at Kāinga among the first to adopt cross-laminated timber at scale in New Zealand. There's an extensive use of timber products enables a long-term store of carbon and a more sustainable approach to building. These are things that you, of course, are discussing probably quite a bit today. The supply chain can be tracked to ensure the timber comes from sustainable sources, and our current constrained supply chain can benefit from more supplier options, which our scale we expect will be able to unlock. So we're working closely with the industry to grow the off-site manufacturing capability. That's our capability internally to be, an excellent client, and also their and the industry capability to be actually deliver at the scale that's required. And key for that, of course, is the long-term pipeline that we're able to publish and make available to the industry so that they know they can make confident investment and get their return to make it sustainable as a business. So we've analysed all our state redevelopments, either in construction or procurement. Almost 15% of all our units are currently that are in procurement or under construction use either timber or steel off-site solutions. So that's cross-laminated timber, engineered timber, panels and volumetric solutions. Almost 40% of all those units, if we include concrete off-site panels. And the system's typically either panelised or volumetric. And the photo there you've got is one of our projects in Papatoetoe. Obviously, before it was completed, but it now has been completed and occupied by a number of people. I think there's 12 units there. And that was the winner of a Merit Award in the 2019 Property Council Awards. Another example of some of the innovation and pilots that we're actually investing in is this project here. We're supporting industry partners to deliver outcomes for our customers in the context of building well, our latest research and development initiative, the 5 Systems 3-level walk-up pilot. It looks at the life cycle, carbon and construction feasibility, practicalities of designing and delivering to a lower carbon construction standard. Currently in developed design, we're going to look at the 5 different structural construction systems, how they perform holistically against a wide range of KPIs and considerations, and they include construction and life cycle costs, building time and supply chain, customer wellbeing, which is always a key focus of anything that we do, sustainability, life cycle carbon, and the MB Building for Climate Change program. And after we've done the handover, we'll complete that study with a post-occupancy evaluation performance monitoring framework. So on the next slide, building well and at scale at pace. You've got a sense today of the scale that we're operating at and what we think well means for us. But the aspiration of these innovations is not to adopt one building system over another, but to determine the best mix of concrete, steel and timber in the construction of our buildings to meet and exceed the New Zealand Building Code. We have a standard that suits the purpose that we own these buildings long term, so it's more than just compliance that we're after. We know wood, the only renewable building material, enables long-term store of carbon, which helps fight climate change. Also, we know it has low energy use in its production, less CO2 in the atmosphere. We can ensure timber comes from sustainable sources, and we can compare 2 of the most commonly used primary structural building materials, timber stud and concrete, against mass timber, specifically CLT, and start to illustrate some of the indirect attributes of the material. This image that you see there is Busby Street, which is a project in Blockhouse Bay in Auckland, which is a 3-level walk-up apartment building using off-site building technologies with CLT panels, which are factory cut, transported and lifted into place on-site, much like a precast concrete panel. If we can go back again on the slide if that's possible. and we can start to illustrate some of the indirect attributes of the material. First of the 4 project Kāinga Ora research development programs, which will combine these technologies to enable the delivery of homes manufactured to a factory level quality. And that is my last page. Really, I just wanted to finish off here. Quite pleased actually I was able to fit it into the time frame and gone for that aspiration of meeting the time frame as you requested. Sustainability is one part of our efforts to build well. We're also aiming to build at scale, at pace, and positively influence the cost to build residential homes in New Zealand. So that's the end of my presentation, and I will be staying online for you to join the panel after the next speakers. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you today.